Welcome to a special Q&A recording of A Suitable Boy, one of the 50 official selection titles at the 45th Toronto International Film Festival. The series plays as part of our primetime program and is the first ever series to close out our event. As part of Share Her Journey, Tiff's commitment to supporting women behind and in front of the camera, we're thrilled to spotlight the incredible films and series by women at this year's festival, including A Suitable Boy. My name is Jeff McNaughton. I'm the lead programmer of Primetime and Senior Director of Industry and Theatrical here at TIFF. I am so excited to welcome director Mira Nair, actors Ishaan Khatter, Tabu, and TIFF rising star Tanya Maniktala. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
I will say
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. I'll say that this series is also eligible for the People's Choice Award. So audiences, please vote for your favorite films and series at tiff.net/vote. Congratulations, everyone. This is such an exciting opportunity.
And we are still standing.
Thank
or sitting. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
Mira, I was hoping to start with you and just ask, tell us about the first time you discovered Vikram Seth's novel.
Oh, Vikram Seth is one of our, classic and extraordinary writers. I've loved all his work, but I know him as a friend and visited him while he was writing A Suitable Boy, which took him 10 years. And I was just waiting for it. And I read it in 1993, months after it was published, and probably one of the few people who read it back to back twice. It just was, it's a novel that encapsulates India and free India moments. It's set in 1951, right after independence, when we as a country and as a people really struggled to find out how to shake off this extraordinary English influence that we all live with. We, some of us are in deeply anglicized worlds, and how do we find our authentic voice? And he did it with such humanity and humor and drama and extraordinary truth. Actually, it captured me and. But was too large at that time, 20, 30 more years ago, for me to think of it as a series. I actually made my smaller version of it in Monsoon Wedding. But now, years passed, and when they were going to do a series, I was very, very happy to be asked to direct it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think was you mentioned it's a sweeping novel. It's, but there's an intimacy to your series that you're able to create. How did you and writer Andrew Davies get to a point in which you were happy with the narrative, especially knowing that you're only working with 6 episodes versus the wealth of story that you were pulling from?
Well, actually, I came into the picture after Andrew Davies had written 8 episodes, the whole novel in 8, and I was quite charmed by the distillation of the novel into the 8. Things happened with financial things, and we had to reduce things to 6 hours, and then I got involved very muscularly into the choices. For one, I think that at the heart of the tale is a very universal search for a suitable boy or a suitable girl. For Lata, a mother who searches for the right person for her unmarried daughter. But it was very much for me a parallel between the search for India, India's first national election was in the same year as The Suitable Boy is set. So for me, Lata and the country were parallel. So it was a personal story of her search as well as the country's search, in a sense. So for me, the political undertone, which was deeply in the novel, was very important. And I brought that to the fore with Andrew, as well as highlighting characters that sometimes don't speak so much, but are deeply the cornerstone of so much character. For instance, like Mrs. Mahesh Kapoor, who is a deeply religious woman, the mother of Ishaan Khatter's character, who kind of keeps this political family together as tumultuous events have happen around her. And for me, Saida Bai, Tabu's character, is actually the reason you could say I wanted to direct this film, because that whole culture of the courtesan, the music, the refinement, the the art of seduction, and the marginalization of the courtesan in our society, all of that was very moving to me. And I come from a tradition of loving that music and the ghazal form, and also the syncretic interwovenness of both the Hindu and Muslim languages and meaning and culture that we have come from such a ancient tradition of, and which is so much being obliterated today. For me, it was very important that Suitable Boy, in all these facets, hold a mirror to our society today.
You mentioned Lata's character, Tanya. First, congratulations on such a wonderful performance. And when you first read the novel and the script, what were the characteristics of Lata that you were really drawn to?
First of all, thank you very much. And I mean, I still haven't read the novel. I haven't finished it yet. But when I started reading it, well, I mean, even before that, I think I had a call with Mira and we discussed Lata's character and the story. And I had done an audition before that. I had read a scene before that for Lata. And it was just her simplicity that really moved me. It was something about her, she may not be like that drop dead gorgeous girl, but she exudes a confidence, she exudes a charisma that's so appealing, and it's so charming. She's so unmoved by the things around her, she's untouched by the things around her. She lives in her own bubble. She's very smart, she has her own thoughts, she speaks her mind. And I feel like it was those things about Lata that really attracted me to her, and I wanted to do something like that made me feel like this is a character that I would love to play. This is a character that I strongly relate to, because I feel like Lata is somebody who is very simple in her thoughts, yet so well spoken that is what is so attractive about her. I mean, there are no pretenses to her. She is just the way that she is, and she does not care about anything else. She would rather do what she says and act out on her own thoughts than be a pretense of something that she's not. And that, I feel, the honesty that is Lata is really beautiful for me.
It was interesting when I was prepping for this conversation. I was thinking of words to describe Lata, and I think you narrowed in on two very perfect words in a sense of the charm and authenticity of her, and that really comes through in your performance. I'm sure it feels like quite a journey from getting a leading role in a BBC series to working with the likes of Mira, Andrew, Ishaan, Tabu, to showcasing a film at a major film festival. Looking back at this experience, what's a moment or memory that you'll always remember?
Definitely. It still feels really surreal. I mean, I can't believe I'm here. I'm doing this with all of you.
Tabu, this is your first international project was Mira's 2006 film, The Namesake. What was it like to work with her again?
It felt like we were never away from each other. Mira feels like home. Mira feels like a family within my profession, within the industry. So it felt like we were coming back. And coincidentally, Namesake showed at Toronto. Yeah. And here we are again with The Suitable Boy. So she is just the same. She has just 10 times more energy than she had in Namesake. Wow. I don't know how that is possible even. But it's always like a celebration to be working with Mira. It was a while back when I met Mira at a friend's casual dinner, and she mentioned Suitable. She had just done Recce in Kolkata. And then since then, the project had its own delays. but I think I stayed on.
Absolutely.
And
You were
then
the
people, and then the project kept getting bigger and bigger, and our family of actors kept getting larger and larger. And I was very excited to explore the courtesan and her depiction with Mira, because even though, I mean, the courtesan has been an iconic, part of Indian society, culture, entertainment, cinema, theater.
Mhm.
But for me, it was like getting to explore her on a new territory with Mira and Vikram and Andrew. And that was the most exciting part. And I knew that this character is just up Mira's alley. The music and the
Yeah.
beauty and the aesthetics. And I knew that I'm going to have it all in this.
Don't forget sex appeal. Sex appeal and chemistry, these two. Chaka chak.
Part of the territory. So, yeah.
I kind of want to make Mira blush a little more because I would love to hear about what it's like working with Mira on set and what makes her such a successful director.
Oh my goodness.
She has the skill to get people together. That's just one of her skills. She knows, she has an eye for talent. She knows exactly who she wants for her projects, and she sees to it that she has the correct people for her project. And her greatest strength is that she has remained like a glue, for all the people that have worked with her, and she holds on to her people and her relationships for years and years, and she keeps it that way. People have worked with her for 30 years and they're still working with her. She has that thing. So I know that even when I'm like 80 years old and if I'm working in the movies, Mira will definitely work with me. So she gets people together, she holds them together, and she just extracts some great pieces of work. And her aesthetic is like, you can so depend on it. You can just, I can close my eyes and go into a project and say, Mira will take care of everything and she'll make a beautiful, beautiful piece of work.
Oh. Blushing, I'm crying here.
Oh.
Amazing.
Really?
Jeff, that is such a beautiful thing to hear, because I was just we ended the film like last week making it, and I looked back on it, and literally 3 generations of crew were on Suitable Boy. So our best boy, his father was the gaffer of the second unit, and his grandfather was the gaffer. Was the light person on Salam Bombay.
Oh my goodness.
And that was Waris, if you remember. Wasim, sorry. And it just was 3 generations on a set. And it was extraordinary. And I feel like this about all, the actors as well as the filmmakers with me, because we really have worked now 25, 30 years together between Declan Quinn and Arjun
Stephanie
and the
Lydia.
designer. And so the actors know them also from when they were babies. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to sustain a film family that keeps carrying on in different
and
colors.
with so much energy.
Well, I was gonna say, just being on this call, it feels like I'm invited into like a family dinner in a way that is very nice for me. I had a question, Ishaan, for you. With this being a period piece, do elements of production and aesthetic, whether it's art direction or costume or writing, help you as an actor embody your character?
Yes, very much so. And I've actually spoken about this in the past, because on this story in particular, on A Suitable Boy, they certainly helped me a lot, especially the production design, the costume. In a way, it transports you. It just it fuels the truth of a performance that much more, because there is that much less you have to imagine. When the production design, the costumes, the locations feel authentic, you don't have to put much work as an actor to make it believable for yourself and for the audience. So yes, I did very much feel supported by all of those elements. And I think, Tabu put it ever so beautifully, is that everybody on the crew felt very, very energized. It was my first experience working with Mira, and I'm ever so grateful for it. And I felt, with her crew, that everybody was very much in sync and very, very energized. And I think that, that's something, that's the tone that a director sets. Especially being that Mira's been working for so many years, to retain that kind of energy, I think that's an extraordinary thing. That's the first thing that struck me in my very first meeting with her, is that she almost felt at par, if not more energized than I was about that audition, which was it was quite striking.
It's true.
I wanted to be Saida Bai.
But you were in that audition. You were Saida Bai.
Even in this interview, it's 8 a.m. for Mira, so she's much more energized than I am. The relationship between you and your father in this, Ishaan, who's played by Maan Kapoor, is one of love and pain, and I think the tension between both of you is just palpable in some of these scenes. And they're really some of my favorite scenes in the story. Do you think you elevated each other's performances in those scenes, and how?
Oh, most definitely. I think the scenes demanded a sort of to and fro, and they needed a collaboration between the two actors. And luckily, Ram is Ram sir is a very, very affable person, and he's a very collaborative actor. And I think what he brought to the part of Mahira Kakkar directly informed my performance as Maan. I too feel that those are some of the best scenes in my track, because it's a layered relationship, and it feels very real. It feels like a real father and son. They have their differences, especially being that Maan is sort of the dark horse of the family, and he can barely manage to keep him under the roof and under control. But there are a lot of layers, and there is a lot of love and genuine involvement and affection and empathy there. And I think through the 6 episodes, the 6 hours, you see the evolution of their relationship very distinctly. So I think, those are some of my favorite scenes too.
And we would start on one level with those father-son scenes, and then go into a much more nuanced level. The obvious level is tension and conflict, and what are you coming home drunk again for? But the other level is that Ishaan, Maan is a charmer, and he's actually even charms his own father sometimes successfully. And he charms him. He says, "Oh, Dad, why do you?" He charms him and actually there is that seduction that is happening in a very real way between the son and the father, and that softens the father's character and makes the play of it very unpredictable as to what could happen. And that's where we went they used to always call me the take 3 wonder or something. They said, take 3. If it take 3 come, then Mira, these got it, kind of thing. We would go beyond the first level. And they were such fine actors. And Ishaan is not talking about his body bruises, man. He got a lot of them with those scenes.
And scratches.
Thrown out.
I was mauled.
Physically thrown out.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a physicality of it. And there's also what's in the script and what's on the page and what's in the words, but also what's really, to Mira, your point, what's in the looks and that seduction in a way is very clear in those scenes, and I think what makes them so strong. Mira, we are good friends, Tiff and you.
Yeah.
We've had a
So
long
grateful.
and strong relationship with one another, not including this exact moment. Do you have a favorite memory of the festival?
Oh, really? I feel like with Tiff, like I feel with my film family. You know, you've literally seen me, I think, right from the beginning with Salam Bombay, with every film. So I have several memories. My most sort of cornerstone memory is the extraordinary passion of the audiences, and you know, before world cinema or global cinema was being celebrated, Toronto International Film Festival always sort of had the eye towards the subcontinent, towards the world. So that was the thing that really I was embraced by. Not so much, oh my God, you've come from another planet, but much more, this is about us. You know, the audiences are so diverse in Toronto and so much a part of the rest of the world that I always have felt embraced by that. But honestly, with almost every film, that feeling of, in a sense, coming home and also to be embraced as the best of cinema is a beautiful thing. With The Suitable Boy, I was especially energized because this is my first long form cinema. It's a first film. I still think of it as a film, not a TV series of 6 hours, because that is how I know to think. And really, I was so happy and privileged and surprised to be taken in the embrace as a long form film, which Tiff has done. So I just wanted to thank the audience and thank all of you for knowing that and keeping that. And also, Toronto is special to me. I got married in Toronto, weirdly, a shotgun wedding on a weekend. Yeah. In fact, Deepa Mehta, your other wonderful filmmaker, my Benji, as we say, my older sister, in a sense, was the decorator of my wedding. So,
Oh my goodness.
so I have a very old and lovely relationship with the city, and it's just so wonderful to be back, even if virtually, even if we don't want Americans anymore.
Well, we are thrilled to have you and all of you, even if it's digitally.
Wish we could be there.
We wish we
know.
could be
Yeah.
there.
I
And Mira,
really,
you would have
especially
taken
with
us to the best Japanese food restaurant
I
like
just-
last
just
time, the best
walking
sushi.
down. Yeah,
You know.
your first sushi was in
Yeah.
Toronto with me.
Yes,
I just
yes.
want to watch a film on a big
I
screen again.
know, exactly.
Me too.
Me too. That was my dream, and I kind of thought I would make it, but it is not to be. But you know what, Ishaan, we will take the example of Toronto Film Festival, and we'll make it happen in India, so we can, you know, because this gang, to be on a red carpet, you'd have a riot. I don't think you could control whatever. But
So to make up for it, next year we'll come to Toronto 2 times. Just take 2 flights and just keep coming up and down. Just like
I mean,
I don't mind. Yeah, exactly.
Deal. I can't wait for that. And
Really.
thank you again.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
all.
Thank you. It
Thank you.
was wonderful.
Love you
Thank you.
all. Miss you all.
Thank you. Miss you a
Miss
lot.
you.
Yeah.
Really. 1 month, I'm back.
Aja, come back.